Hello, my name is SHAE Williams, and I am the Associate Principal Investigator for Time, Inc. I will be speaking with you today about organizing an on-farm market. In the United States, farmers markets were common until the mid-20th century. At this time, supermarkets and other forms of convenient indoor grocery shopping arose. Despite the convenience, by the late 20th century, many people were becoming concerned about the quality of processed foods and other products available in supermarkets. When this concern grew, farmers markets began to pop up. Many of these were informal affairs wherein farmers would simply gather in a parking lot and sell their items directly to the public from their trucks. Others have become well-organized, permanent community resources. In this presentation, I will discuss the value of farmers markets and provide information to help you start one where you live in your town and how to successfully and profitably manage it. Is it hard to start a farmers market, you may ask? You may think you could simply find a vacant lot and start selling, but this would be a big mistake. There are a number of steps you must take to lay the groundwork for starting a successful farmers market. Here are some important topics and steps you should explore. Seek community support. Before you choose a location or try to sell any items, make local contacts with residents surrounding businesses, community organizations, and the local government. Many local governments seek out farmers markets. City planners actually include good areas for farmers markets set up because this type of activity helps build the local economy. It also provides a path to parks to preserving historic heritage and keeping parks, public squares, and other desirable areas open, active, and well-maintained. Who would I need to talk to or what local authorities would I need to talk to in order to get some ideas that are in line with what I see as a great farmers market? Now, Time, Inc., in partnership with Footprint Farms, has worked with many farmers who have started their businesses by attending farmers markets. Those once a week, open-air community farmer markets are a great way for farmers to gain or strengthen their marketing skills. You learn how to create displays, have good signage, interact with customers. If your goal is to always sell at farmers markets, that's fine. But for a few of the farmers, the goal is to ultimately get the customers out to their farm to shop. If that's the case, there are a few things to consider before you hang out the open sign. To be clear, we are talking about something more than a roadside self-serve stand. We are talking about constructing or converting a building. Farms that have an on-farm market are really one farm with two businesses. One business grows the crops, the other business sells the harvest. And each considering creating a market on a farm, we need to ask ourselves, if there is someone within our farm business who has the skills and desire to manage a retail business. Maybe it's an opportunity for the next generation or an in-law, but someone needs to manage the retail business. Now, why should you start a farmer's market? A farmer's market has a number of positive impacts on any community. Farmers markets bring fresh, locally grown produce to people in underserved areas. Additionally, farmers profit from being able to sell directly to the public, cutting out the middleman. And additionally, many people rely on the farmers market as a place to meet with other members of the community, relax, socialize, and enjoy a good day outdoors. Basically, starting a farmers market will help you open up marketing opportunities and improve your business. If you are a local community group, you may find that starting a farmers market encourages positive activity in your community. If you are a resident in a food desert, organizing a farmers market will benefit you directly and your community in a multitude of ways. Other reasons for starting a farmers market include benefiting people with low income, making specialty vegetables available at affordable prices, promoting local agriculture, and encouraging community involvement. Now, next, we need to look at the community we will be serving. Is there a need? Are there any problems we will be solving? What is the demographic makeup of the community, and will our products match what they want to buy? Do we already have a customer base? Do we have a customer base that we can survey and find out what they would like to buy at the market? What does the competition look like within a 5 to 10 mile radius? Now, it's well worth the time to sit and ask a few questions beforehand. The first thing to consider is conducting what's called a SWOT analysis. This stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This should be done with the group of people who will be involved in the retail business. Now, your strengths represents identifying things that we or you do well. Weaknesses are things that we need to improve and that we do not do well. Opportunities identify potential revenue opportunities, and threats are the external factors that may threaten our endeavors. Now, this exercise will help you decide if an on-farm market is right for you. Now, there are many regulations related to operating any small business, and a retail farm market is no exception. Most states have small businesses development centers that offer publications and workshops outlining these regulations. Potential regulations you may have to deal with include workers' compensation, unemployment compensation, building inspections, weights and measures, plants, pest laws, sales tax, and perhaps others. State departments of agriculture will also have publications that will help you understand and satisfy these regulations. If we build it, will they come? This could be an expensive risk. We need to be able to make our best informed guess on the market potential. Now, after you ask around and make connections and garner your support, begin looking for a good location. Be sure to seek suggestions from the newfound friends that you have made. The more input you have, the less conflict you are likely to encounter. So a successful farmers market location should at minimum include seating areas so people can picnic, chat, and/or socialize, shelter from inclement weather, public transportation, restroom facilities, wheelchair access, good foot traffic, ample parking, running water, and electricity. Now, how important is your location? Your location can actually make or break your farmer's market. You need to be certain that the zoning laws of your location are in line with your goals and activities. You must also be sure that people are able to see your farmer's market and access it. Foot traffic is quite valuable, and there must also be ample parking for people who drive to attend your market. Remember that wheelchair accessibility is a must these days. Of course, farmers will need to be able to get in and out easily and with large vehicles. They must also be able to turn around and get into position. You'll want to make sure that the pavement of the locale can support the weight of heavy trucks. It's important that the flow of traffic around your setting be easy and convenient. You must be able to keep the fire and police runs clear, and people who are not interested in your market must be able to get past it without hindrance. Now, your store layout is critical. Will there be a prep area for produce is one of the major questions you should ask yourself. Where will the refrigeration and cold storage be? Where will customers check out? Ultimately, we want to create a great customer experience so that they will come back again and again. To do that, we need to think about how our customers will move through the market. It is a good idea to place staples or popular items in strategic places that require the customer to walk, and less popular items first in hopes that they make an impulse purchase. Open plan buildings allow for a flexible floor space that can easily allow for changes in the market layout. You want to give plenty of consideration to your displays. Where would they be? What would they look like? We want to create various heights and lighting that will show off your products. Look at the produce section at some newer grocery stores. Chances are the shelves are black with LED lights. This makes the color of the produce really stand out. Don't forget to cross-merchandise to increase impulse purchases. Place apple slicers with the apples. Items like that have a higher profit margin than the produce and will increase your gross sales. What about the checkout? We recently spoke with the market owner who moved their checkout from the middle of the floor and put it along a wall close to the exit. This freed up valuable floor space and they sped up the customer checkout. How? Traditionally, we simply use registers with multiple lines of customers. Customers try to figure out which line is the smallest and run to that one. In this case, customers get into one line and there are multiple registers. Customers simply move to the next open register. This speeds up the checkout line. We want our customers to linger as long as possible in our markets. But when they want to check out, they want to do it quickly. Now, let's talk about starting your advertising campaign. With local support, good location, and plenty of vendors in place, you're ready to advertise. Strive to get your case before the public in every way possible. This includes newspaper articles, online advertising, colorful banners, bumper stickers, word of mouth, newspaper ads, social media, radio ads, your blog if you have one, posters, TV ads, flyers, and signs. All of these are great marketing and advertising tools. Now, one of the things you want to do is also establish rules, guidelines, and bylaws. To avoid conflicts and confusion before your first market, you should be sure to have rules and/or bylaws in place. Now, why is it necessary to have bylaws? If you will be setting up your business as a nonprofit, which I will get into in just a moment, then you want to have bylaws in place which eliminate awkward questions. When you have bylaws, you are clear with such important topics as when will the meetings be? How much are dues in your association? Who can be a member of your co-op if there's one? What do directors and officers do? Be sure to check with your local health department also to find out what guidelines and rules you must establish and follow regarding sales of fresh poultry and meat and other food products. There may be licensing requirements that your organization and individual vendors must fulfill. So next, you want to determine whether you will want or need to become a nonprofit organization. There are ample government resources available to help you make this determination. One is the USDA Local Food Research and Development page, and also USDA Food and Nutrition Services. Here you'll find a conglomerate of information about accepting food stamps and other food nutrition programs for people with low incomes and children and seniors. Now, should a farmer's market be a nonprofit or a co-op? Registering as a nonprofit organization can be less expensive than registering for a for-profit organization. Additionally, as a nonprofit organization, you can receive tax-deductible donations and you are exempt from paying taxes. Because farmers market are typically set up as service to communities, farmers and consumers find it easy to see why and how they may qualify as nonprofit organizations. Additionally, as a nonprofit, you may need to incorporate. You can find the details of all of the possible information obtained from your local Secretary of State. An informal farmers market run by a group of farmers may incorporate as an agricultural co-op. A farmers co-op must be controlled entirely by the farmers. Such a co-op may offer other services aside from establishing farmers markets. Examples could include processing of produce, farmer education, produce storage, and a variety of other services. If you want your farmers market to be a farm co-op, you can find out more information about establishing it by contacting the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Cooperative Services, Washington, D.C. Now, once you get your business established, you want to establish a formal farmers market manager. That market manager is the supervisor of the market. You may want to manage your farmers market yourself, or you may want to delegate the duties to a paid or volunteer manager. The manager registers vendors, assigns spaces to participants, and collects fees. He or she may also help with advertising, alerting the press of special events, and a liaison for the community. Your market manager may be responsible for recruiting other farmers, attending public hearings and meetings, and obtaining insurance and permits, redeeming SNAP benefits, and generally carrying out the wishes of the board of directors if you so choose to be a nonprofit. Now, with all of that in building your business, one of the most important things you can do is insure your business. You'll need to have insurance for your organization and your location. So talk with your insurance agent to determine exactly what sort of insurance is best for your business. Some good resources for this type of information is USDA Risk Management Agency, the USDA Farm Service Agency. Both the owners of the market and individual farmers should talk with their insurance providers to determine exactly what is necessary in any given situation. At the very least, a good liability insurance policy can help protect you against lawsuits stemming from on-site accidents. Now, next we'll go into some frequently asked questions. Here's a few questions that we have found to be frequently asked of us when assisting farmers with setting up their businesses. Number one, where can I get ideas for starting a good farmers market? One very good way to get inspiration is to simply visit other farmers markets in the area or further afield. Take a few days to walk through successful markets and take notes. It's as simple as that. Number two, when is the best time to start a farmers market? Because beginning a farmers market is a multi-step process that involves a number of legal and logistical steps. It's a good idea to get started in autumn or fall. This gives you several months to get organized before the growing season begins. In this way, you can be open throughout the spring, summer, and into the fall. Number three, how much rent should you expect to pay for farmers market locations? It's very often possible to find locations where you do not have to pay. Many open air markets are held on public squares, town commons, vacant lots, side streets, and parking lots. If this is not possible, you may have to pay a fee for use of a public venue. This will vary from one community to another. Number four, what hours of operation are best? Your study of your local community will inform you as to the best hours of operation for your market. So it may not be the same in every single market. So you would definitely want to study and see what is the best hours for your community and before you set your hours. Number five, how many months of the year should the market be open? There is no set guideline for the number of months of the year when a market can be open. It really depends on the local climate and the availability of the goods you intend to sell. Patience and careful planning bring success. It can take quite a while to establish a farmer's market. It will take a great deal of patience and persistence on your part, even if the market is in a desired location, in addition to your community. With the passage of time, your market will gradually become a value addition to your town or city. Thank you so much, and I hope this information has been very valuable for you.